What up, YouTube? This is your girl, Megan. Before I start this reading, I do want to let you guys know that I do have slots available for natal chart birth readings. So, if you would be interested, go ahead and email me at world, WERLD, at gmail.com. Thank you very much and enjoy the reading. What up, what up? This is your girl Megan. Welcome back to my channel, everybody. If you're already a subscriber, if this is your first time joining me on today, hit that subscribe button because you know you want to. Now, I've been gone for a minute, but I'm back with the jump off. So I do want to wish everybody a happy belated Colonizers Day. I hope y'all ate good on Thanksgiving, spent time with family, did whatever makes you happy. I had a birthday on Wednesday, the 28th. So happy solar return to all my Sagittarius out there. It's our season. It's our season right now. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I just been practicing self-care, just really minding my business. So now we're back in full effect. So with that being said, I do want to get into Beyonce's chart. I normally don't really care for Beyonce. I think she's an amazing entertainer. We're not going to take that away from her, right? But I don't like her fan base. I think she's like has this crazy cult like following, which we're going to get into. Now, she has a former drummer who used to play in her backup, her all-female backup band. And the woman came forward a few months ago and said that Beyonce was attacking her, like psychically attacking her with dark magic and things of that nature. She said that Beyonce molested her psychically. She said that she even put a spell on a cat and ended up killing the cat, and just a host of other nefarious shit, right? And at the time, a lot of people was laughing at this lady. I mean, granted, just at first glance, it does sound like a crazy story. Like, what the fuck? Like, you got ghosts raping you and shit. It does sound kind of far-fetched. However, given that I am into the occult sciences myself, I try not to write people off so fast, simply because I know we live amongst a lot of spirits, a lot of people practicing a lot of different things. And granted, all occult really means is unhidden. Occult means things that are unseen, things that can't be shown or people can't really see in the light of day, things practiced and indulged in behind closed doors. So with that being said, you know, you can either resonate on the lighter side of this occult practice and occult knowledge, or you can be the type of person to kind of indulge on the more darker side of occult knowledge, which a lot of people kind of know as voodoo and things of that nature. And people who, you know, cast a lot of spells, like negative spells, negative rituals, things of that nature. So there are a lot of things, y'all, that really have me, now that I've taken a lot of things into consideration, I believe this former band member 100%. And I'm willing to say that not only does Beyonce dibble and dabble in occultism, I'll take it even a step further and say that based on her chart, she's a full out and out witch. And when I say witch, I don't mean a lady in a corner with a wart on her nose, stirring up a pot, you know, hopping on a broom in the middle of the night. I am simply saying that she is no stranger to harnessing, working with, and summoning otherworldly entities, otherworldly energies, and things of that nature, okay? And as always, you know, as above, so below, or for every light, there's a shadow, you know, yin and yang, duality. There, just as there are good witches, so to speak, out here, there are bad witches. There are people who call upon and like to play with a lot of negative energy and a lot of negative spirits, and who engage in a lot of negative rituals. And my just personal opinion is that Beyonce does both. Okay, I don't think she's a stranger to either one. And so let's get into her natal chart and I'll explain why I feel that way. So Beyonce's moon is in the 21st degree of Scorpio, which right away made me go, simply because Scorpio is the natural ruler of the 8th house in astrology, and that deals with occultism. It deals with magic. It deals with death, sex, rebirth, all kinds of dark shit that a lot of people tend to not want to talk about. So right away, I thought that was very interesting. And because the moon represents the mother, this could also deal with Tina Knowles practicing occultism or being involved in witchery of some sort. Now, I did see a natal chart reading for Tina Knowles, or Tina Lawson, I think her name is now, Beyonce's mother. And she has hella indicators of witchery, sorcery, just in her chart, point blank, period. So, you got to take that into consideration as well. Also, they are of Creole descent, and voodoo and different forms of occultism are commonly practiced in that type of like Louisiana area. A lot of people practice voodoo in certain variations of occult magic. So that's, hey, I'm just saying. So Scorpio moon people tend to be, they tend to be very secretive as well. And this kind of just ties into the whole occultism nature, simply because the word occult in and of itself, as I said earlier, simply means something that is done behind closed doors. And things that are done behind closed doors tend to be what? More often than not, secrets, things that people don't really talk about. I think it's a lot of shit that Beyonce might be into behind closed doors that a lot of people would be very surprised to discover. And it makes sense because Jay-Z and Beyonce have both been known to be very, very private people. Something else that I found to be very, very telling about Beyonce's natal chart was the fact that her black moon Lilith is in the sign of Scorpio as well. Now, in astrology, the black moon Lilith is literally like the primitive part of your nature. It's a very instinctual, kind of subconscious, wild woman, wild man kind of energy. I look at it as Mars, but like on crack. Simply because Mars is the planet of your willpowers, your animalistic urges, your sexual urges. So Black Moon Lilith carries a very primal kind of energy with that. And it's usually an energy that you've carried with you from previous lifetimes. So in this case, when you have your Black Moon Lilith in Scorpio, these people tend to be very occult focused, okay? These people tend to have a penchant for being cruel to other people, for victimizing other people by way of black magic, for punishing people right away. This made me think about the drummer girl. This indicates that Beyonce is no stranger to dark energy. She's no stranger to ritualistic kind of spells, and actually using them to somebody else's detriment. These people can be very cunning manipulators to the point where they can actually create cult-like followings. Like, I don't know, the Beehive. These people can be very charismatic and be very, very secretive, in the way that they go about torturing people. These people can be very cruel behind closed doors. They could have very sexual perversions. These people tend to have a karmic energy or just past lives as black magicians. So there's a very strong possibility that Beyonce herself, as well as just her from a generational standpoint, comes from a long line of witches, a long line of women who have practiced witchcraft. Her Mars is in trine to her Black Moon Lilith, which points towards Beyonce using her powers to obtain celebrity, using her powers to obtain her desires. Somebody whose consciousness and desires are in tune with their darker side, okay? This could point towards Beyonce being a freak nasty and being involved in certain nefarious underground, even sexual activities that could actually surprise the public. This could point towards criminal activity, even. Not to say that Beyonce is a criminal, but somebody who, I mean, they're not just that far above it or beyond it. You know, somebody who isn't a stranger to, you know, I'm going to do whatever I have to do by any means necessary. So if somebody pisses me off, if it comes down to my reputation, if it comes down to the things that I want and you're in my way, bitch, I'm not scared to do so. Like I said, the heavy Scorpio energy is all about death. Scorpio is even the sign of criminal activity. So, and her Mars is in the sign of Leo, which is celebrity. So anything in connections with or anything that could threaten her celebrity, I don't think she would be just beyond using different witchcrafts or dealing with darker sides of life. Anything that could get her to a higher status. I think she's, you know, done certain things to kind of get to where she wants to be. And this kind of reminded me of what the drummer said, because she was saying that Beyonce actually stole her intellectual property. And she's not the first person to say that, actually. A lot of people have accused Beyonce of stealing either their intellectual property or their styles. Or Beyonce has she's had a long track record of being, I don't want to say a culture vulture, because Beyonce is the culture. I'm not going to lie like that. But definitely she kind of has a similar thing to Drake going on, as to whether it's like she absorbs, almost like a vampire, like a parasite. Like she absorbs people's talents and energies and intellectual ideas, and then she stamps her celebrity on there, right? Her name power, like I am Beyonce, and then she just rides off into the sunset with your shit. And because she can sing and dance her ass off, and she has this enchanted cult-like following, people like, especially if you try to speak out against it, people like, bitch, fuck you. This Beyonce, this our queen. All hail the queen. That's some Scorpio like shit, bro. All day. I don't care what you say. Scorpio is it's a very parasitic kind of energy. That's some vampire shit right there for your ass. So with her Mars enshrined to her black moon Lilith, this, like I said, just reinforces the fact that Beyonce is with the shits, especially as it pertains to reaching status. And with her Uranus conjoined to her black moon Lilith, this also points towards her just being very much involved in secret societies. Her being involved in alternative, if you will, senses of like spirituality. Her having alternative beliefs of some sort. And she could either be the type of person to like start her own secret society, or maybe she belongs to just another larger secret society. I don't really believe in the Illuminati as like a lot of people would talk about on YouTube, but absolutely I believe that there are a group of people, and most of the time these people are people of some sort of affluence or power, and they believe in a lot of, like I said, alternative type of forms of spirituality, you know. And this just reinforces that whole occultism type of thing with Beyonce. Now, her Jupiter is in the sign of Libra, and it's making a semi-square to her black moon Lilith, which once again reinforces this very zealous kind of alternative approach to spirituality. Somebody who dibbles and dabbles in the occult or looks to certain spiritual practices to help aid their career. Somebody who takes a very unconventional or taboo related approach to spirituality or religion. Somebody who attaches themselves to certain philosophies for the sake of controversy. So this could also deal with her kind of like knowing that this is the public perception of her. So she plays it up at certain points. So like I said, I don't believe in the Illuminati to be what like a lot of people make videos about on the internet. Like, oh, it's the reptilians, and you know, you're holding up the diamond, which is the 666. I think a lot of that Beyonce probably plays up just to give people something to talk about, because she knows that people kind of give her a hard time about it. But she definitely is involved in her own form, because like I said, we kind of get diluted by these energy signatures when it comes to like, oh, what it means to be a witch or what it means to be in occultism. She very much practices rituals and occultism, but I don't think it's to the degree that a lot of people are like looking for, as far as like with certain clues. I think she kind of this aspect kind of shows that she incorporates certain certain controversial things about her spirituality into her career for just the sake of being controversial at times. But these people, especially with this aspect, they still tend to be very morally selfish. They tend to have personal convictions that support the things that are in their best interest. And with this, like I said, this Scorpio black moon, the energy from this Scorpio black moon Lilith, these people, I mean, if you cross them, you do something that rubs them the wrong way, they will take vengeance. Literally. Her black moon Lilith is also conjoined to her asteroid Juno, which Juno is just about like your relationships. It talks about like what you need. It can point towards like certain themes that you encounter in your relationships. So this aspect points towards, I mean, even Beyonce attracting partners who are into the same type of shit that she's into. And a lot of people have argued that she and Jay-Z both are equally involved in different type of nefarious spiritual practices, if you will. And I found that to be interesting because for a while, both Beyonce and Jay-Z did run around with this lady named Marina Abramovic. I think that's her name. I might not be saying it correctly, but she's a Serbian performance artist who is known for doing like a lot of controversial stunts as far as like her art is concerned. But she's also known for being involved in occultism, and a lot of people say that she's a witch, and she practices a lot of alternative forms of spirituality and things of that nature behind closed doors. She even has these, I don't know if it's literal, like if that's literally what they are, but she has these things called spirit dinners where she invites a lot of different people in Hollywood. And during the John Podesta emails that were leaked back in 2016 during the WikiLeaks, they showed that she even invited him. Like, she's inviting politicians, which lends to the whole concept of there being this secret society, if you will, or people who, it makes you question what a lot of people in power are into, what a lot of people are involved into. And like I said, I don't think occultism in and of itself is necessarily a bad thing, because I mean astrology is an occult science, so I did believe, my livelihood is in occultism. I love occultism, but the question is, what side of occultism do you fall on? And with Beyonce, I think she has a lot of, but, and I would, like I said, even argue with Jay-Z. He's a Sagittarius sun, and I mean, just that whole like spirituality thing, that Jupiter influence, I think they both tend to, I think they know exactly what they're doing. I think they're both involved in certain situations. And I said all that to say that the whole concept of somebody rubbing Beyonce the wrong way and now she's using these dark energies to her advantage, that's not beyond the realm of plausibility. So with that being said, I believe the former band person, whoever the lady is. I mean, I believe her. I don't know what a restraining order is going to do to help fix somebody who got a hold on your ass in the yin realm. But, I don't think she's just a complete nutcase. So with that being said, this concludes it's just a general reading of Beyonce's birth chart. And if you like it, drop a comment down below. Let me know how you feel. Is there anybody else that you would like for me to cover next? Would you like for me to take a look at your fave's birth chart? If so, just holler at me. Make sure you like this video, share with your friends, subscribe, all that good stuff. And as always, make sure you practice unconditional self-love so that you can love others. And until next time, I holla.